Pakistan-Afghanistan tensions escalate over border issues. Tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan have surged dramatically in October 2025, centered on long-standing border disputes along the Durand Line. Recent cross-border airstrikes and clashes have intensified hostilities, with both sides accusing each other of territorial violations and supporting militant groups, threatening regional stability. On October 9, 2025, Pakistan conducted airstrikes in Kabul, targeting Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan (TTP) camps. These strikes killed 2 senior TTP commanders, escalating the conflict as the Taliban government in Afghanistan condemned the actions as a violation of sovereignty. The Afghan Taliban reported explosions in central Kabul, attributing them to Pakistani drone strikes. This prompted immediate retaliatory measures, including cross-border firing near Miran Shah and Ghulam Khan in North Waziristan, where heavy weapons were exchanged. Pakistan's military responded with decisive firepower against militant movements across the border. The Inner Services Public Relations (ISPR) stated that these operations aim to eradicate threats from TTP sanctuaries in Afghanistan, which Islamabad claims are harbored by Kabul. In retaliation, TTP militants ambushed Pakistani forces in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, killing 11 soldiers, including senior officers, in Tira Valley. This attack followed a suicide bombing and gun assault on a police training center in Dera Ismail Khan. Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi issued a stern warning to Pakistan, stating that testing Afghan courage would lead to consequences, referencing past invasions by superpowers. He reaffirmed that Afghanistan would not allow its soil to be used against any nation. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif labeled Afghan refugees in Pakistan as traitors, accusing Kabul of provocations. This rhetoric highlights deep-seated mistrust, exacerbated by Islamabad's claims that India supports TTP via Afghan territory, which New Delhi denies. Clashes erupted in Orakzai near the border, where Pakistani forces killed 30 militants after an ambush. The TTP claimed these as revenge for the Kabul strikes, further inflaming the cycle of violence and cross-accusations. Heavy fighting broke out between Afghan Taliban and Pakistani security forces at the Pak-Afghan border near Miran Shah. Both sides used artillery, marking one of the most serious confrontations in recent months, with casualties reported on both fronts. The Durand Line, established in 1893, remains unrecognized by Afghanistan, fueling disputes over Pashtun territories. Pakistan's fencing efforts along the 2,600-kilometer border have led to frequent skirmishes, as Kabul views it as dividing ethnic communities. Terrorism allegations dominate the narrative. Pakistan accuses the Afghan Taliban of sheltering TTP, responsible for over 80,000 deaths in Pakistan since 2007. Conversely, Afghanistan blames Pakistan for supporting ISIS Khorasan attacks within its borders. Economic impacts are severe, with border closures disrupting trade worth billions annually. Key crossings like Torkham and Shaman have seen halts, affecting supply chains for goods, including food and fuel, amid Afghanistan's humanitarian crisis. Diplomatic efforts falter as mutual distrust grows. Recent talks in Doha and Islamabad failed to yield agreements on border management and counter-terrorism cooperation, with each side demanding the other dismantle militant safe havens first. India's growing ties with the Taliban add complexity. Afghan officials met with Indian counterparts, expanding cooperation in trade and aid, while Pakistan alleges this alliance facilitates anti-Pakistan activities, straining regional geopolitics. Security alerts have been raised in Pakistan's border provinces, with increased troop deployments. Afghanistan has mobilized forces along the frontier, preparing for potential escalations that could draw in tribal militias and exacerbate instability. The resurgence of TTP since the Taliban's 2021 takeover has led to a 60% increase in attacks in Pakistan. Operations like Azam-e-Istikam aim to counter this, but cross-border dynamics complicate unilateral efforts. International observers warn of a broader conflict risk, potentially involving Central Asian states or drawing U.S. attention. The UN has called for de-escalation, emphasizing dialogue to prevent a humanitarian spillover. Refugee issues intensify tensions, with Pakistan hosting over 1.3 million Afghans. Recent expulsions of undocumented migrants have drawn criticism from Kabul, accusing Islamabad of using refugees as leverage in border disputes. Military strategies evolve, with Pakistan employing drones for precision strikes, while Afghanistan relies on guerrilla tactics. This asymmetry heightens the unpredictability of engagements along rugged terrains. Long-term implications include potential shifts in alliances, with Afghanistan seeking closer ties to India and Iran, isolating Pakistan further. Resolving the Durand Line dispute remains key to lasting peace. As clashes continue, both nations face internal pressures. Pakistan grapples with economic woes and political instability, while Afghanistan contends with governance challenges under Taliban rule, making de-escalation urgent. Stay informed with globalinfoveda.com.